Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there is having a good day, y'all. We're going there. We got an hour and 10 minutes without me doing any chit chat. So I'm gonna try to take it easy today. But enough with that chit chat. Let's do what we all came here for. Let's get into the reaction. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I just think factory farming is so demonic. I try to personally not even eat meat because of it, but if I do, I would definitely get meat from someone like you. But people should get meat from local farmers, or you really don't understand how these animals are just stuffed in there together. They're watching them get massacred. They're basically living a torturous life. It's just truly wrong.
It's demonic, dude. There's no other way to say it. Yeah, when you're treating an animal like that and you're just stuffing them full of corn in those small areas, it's like, dude, that ain't how it's supposed to be. And like I cut these cows up in my garage and put the meat straight into the freezer, and dude, it's delicious.
And you're gonna respect it too when you have to take life yourself. You realize, dude, like, oh, I'm taking a life. It's not like it's just something you don't respect.
Yeah, and I do it as quick as possible, man. I see a lot of them hang the cow upside down and cut its throat, and I'm like, no, dude, I go down in that field and I back it up in a corner and shoot it in the head with a 30-06.
Yep.
You know, and the cow's dead, twitching on the ground a little bit, but it's dead instantly, and there's no pain for that cow unless if you miss your shot, you know. But yeah, it's that's how I think it ought to be done. Just shoot them in the head, get it over with real quick.
People should go to someone like you and get, not necessarily you because you're like, you know, small, but like a farm that raises a bunch of cows and get it more humane. I mean, I know it's a little more money, but anyone that can afford it, it's worth it.
I was at a game and someone walked up to me and they said, "What would you say if I told you Brett Favre wanted your phone number?" And I said, "I think I like my job and I look a lot like his wife." Went home, happened to log into my MySpace. There were 2 messages from someone that I didn't recognize the name. And one of them was basically saying, "Hey, I'm new to the team. This is what I look like. I don't want to give away too much. Very interested in you. Got your name from the front office." The second message was, "Well, since you didn't give me your number, so-and-so is going to come ask you for it." I genuinely thought I was being punked by male coworkers because that's something that happened all the time. And then I started getting text messages.
Y'all already know what the fuck going on. We just broke the link record with the youngest link of the century. $1 million in a couple hours. I'm still the youngest one doing it. For all the grown-ass haters who've been hating since I was 9 years old, look at me now. What y'all got to say? Y'all been doubting me for 7 years. You can hate on me all you want. You can't say Lil Tay ain't winning. So for everybody out there, do whatever the hell you want with your life. Who gives a fuck what people have to say? And remember this, Lil Tay rich and finna get richer. Oh yeah, and thank you to all my supporters who have pre-ordered since 2018 or whenever you did.
We doomed, y'all.
2018, y'all. She's 18. That's young. That people were already paying for that. I'm guessing you have to be 18 to have an OnlyFans. Not have one, but to subscribe to one, I'm guessing. She was what, 8 years old? Sorry if my math's wrong, but something like that. The fact that she's already thinking about OnlyFans at 8-year-old is crazy. But she made $1 million in 24 hours off that.
You telling me Lil Tay was 17 years old, promoting that she might start up, you know what, when she turned 18, which is wild. That's wild. But she actually goes through with starting it and get $1 million in the first hour of it being.
Hour?
The end gotta be near, y'all. Like, where do we go from here? Bro, the fact that a minor could essentially just get online and make an announcement like, yo, creepy dudes in down bad community, I'm almost done baking in the oven, like, be on the lookout for the spicy content. That's insane work. And for the people who actually paid for that, bro, like, I hope the CIA is keeping a log of every single name, especially them first couple ones. Like, bro, y'all go straight to the big house and get the loneliest, coldest cell, bro, and make it your home forever. This is wild, bro. Like, ain't absolutely treacherous work, bro. Like, I can't, she ain't even try nothing else. She did the bad baby method. Just 18 years old, boom, here go the link, y'all. Run it up for me. Like, but you ain't try to act. The music was ass, but you ain't have to do this. They need to raise the requirements to 21 to just make an account or announce I'm making an account, bro, because this is crazy. Like, you ain't even try to be a streamer. Everybody want to be a streamer. You could have been a streamer.
Very disturbing happened on the internet recently, and I don't feel like enough people are talking about it. So this girl is called Little Tay. She's like this internet influencer, but she just turned 18 and she started an OnlyFans. Within the first 3 hours, she made $1 million. What's even more disturbing was what her whole entire bio. Freshly 18, please don't tell my mom. My 18th birthday exclusive shots at 12:01 a.m. Look at her, she kind of looks like a child. Like, she doesn't look like an adult. Her face, she just kind of has a baby face. The fact that within 3 hours of her freshly turning 18, she sold $1 million worth of OnlyFans is so disturbing and concerning to me. I love my OF girls down. Like, this is not hate or shame towards you, but I want to talk about the society that we live in. This is pedophilic. This is so pedophilic that you're literally waiting on a computer for someone to turn 18, someone who already looks like a child, so that you can buy sexually explicit pictures of them. When I was 18, like, my frontal lobe was not developed. Like, the choices I made when I was 18, I would never make them now, most of them at least. Don't think a lot of people are talking about how disturbing this whole thing was. Like, there are a lot of very sick people that live amongst us, and that's just the fact. I know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you follow me for more news updates like this.
Israel was created as the instrument to bring about the Battle of Armageddon and the fulfillment of prophecy, a war that will be so terrible, where nuclear weapons will be used, so that the American citizens and the other people in the world will get down on their knees and beg for no more war. And what is the answer to that? They're going to be told the only way we can guarantee no more war is if we destroy the sovereignty of nations and we come together as one humanity in a one world government.
Right.
Now I'm telling you, unless the American people wake up and stop it, starting in about 1996, the Battle of Armageddon will become a reality. Babylon is in Iraq. Read the book of Revelations. Whether you believe in the book or not, read it, because the men who are bringing this about are using it as their script.
Well, the UN did indeed charter Israel as a sovereign nation. They were the ones who created this state.
That is correct. It was really created by Great Britain and the United States, with the United States being the major instigant.
What about in America? Are they under here too? So this is one in Wyoming.
When you think of Illinois,
here's
you
Illinois.
Probably don't picture a 100-foot pyramid jutting out of the landscape, and it's home to the largest indigenous pyramid in all of the United States. The city used to cover 6 square miles and contained 120
What's underneath
mounds.
here?
At its peak, Cahokia is estimated
It's
to have
underneath that
sustained
thing.
between 6,000.
This is in Washington.
You cannot mistake that for anything.
This is a conspiracy thought too. How many of these mountains, they have overgrowth, but they're actually pyramids, but you wouldn't know? Like Minecraft.
I don't know what the hands are always going to be there.
That's what I'm saying. People need to check out America. There's a lot of pyramids out here.
Y'all see this pyramid out here in the woods in Tennessee? Watch this. Look. You see it? Look. Ching, ching. So much is hidden from us.
So this is one of those pyramids in Hemet that you keep seeing on your.
I don't know where Hemet is, but it's somewhere in the United States.
I'm going.
See, look at that. That's just in the side of a mountain. Pyramid Lake in California. On the side of a mountain. What's in there? Yeah, here's one in Texas, apparently. This is in America, too. What's underneath this thing?
This is Ames Monument.
And here's another pyramid in Wyoming.
In Beaufort, Wyoming. This structure is 60 feet tall, made out of pure granite.
You remember the Conjuring movie that came out? Do you remember that movie, Conjuring? They had the Conjuring 1 and the Conjuring 2. This was in Riverside, California. I went to the movie theater. They had a priest, a pastor, and somebody for the exorcism to stand outside after the movie to cast out any demons that were placed into anybody for that movie. A lot of teenagers went to see that movie. A lot.
I was one of them.
You go back in generations. I was talking to my mom and an angel about this earlier, and you guys had Bloody Mary. Was it Bloody Mary? Bloody Mary. You say Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror. There was before that, there was Beetlejuice. Every time of these situations, they are going after the kids. This always pops up in a kid's face. This always pops up on a kid's platform. This always pulls in the children.
Oh.
I used to play that Bloody Mary thing when I was young, little kid in the mirror with my neighbors' sisters. We used to all do that, y'all. They do go after. It's a trip.
Somebody's gonna get fucked. Clint Eastwood is gonna die soon. Here it is, bro. Look at that. Look, bro. What's all those guns for, sir? She's Oprah Winfrey. She's like one of the lead witches, alien. You think she did that with her fingers? Look.
The fuck was that?
Magic.
My grandfather would drown me, hold me down there as I was drowning. As I was fading and splitting and losing consciousness and beginning to convulse and drown, he would bring me out of it. And he would clear my airway and he would resuscitate me. And when I would come to consciousness, I didn't have any memory of the past. That was a new split, a blank slate is what it's called. That blank slate now is a new personality, and I'm actually bonded to that man as my savior. He saved my life. He rescued me. I love him. I'll do anything for him. And you're in fugue state. You're very much impressionable. That's how a personality can get created. It's not always to that extreme. Once a lot of this patterning happens, it can be done with substances. It can be done with shocks and scares and frights. And that personality that's now bonded to him as the master now can do his bidding. And anytime he wants to bring that personality up, he could take me into the bathroom and show me the tub. Somebody can come along when I'm in Flagstaff, Arizona, 150 miles away, and show me a picture of that tub and call the name of that personality out. Or it can be a specific ring that somebody wears that during the programming session, they hold up the ring and teach you about this and give your name, your identity is bound to that. So when that ring is manifested, or a necklace or a piece of jewelry or a specific color and pattern of a shirt and ensemble is brought forth, that's when the personality is brought forward.
I have, something just hit me right now when he was saying that, I remember when I was in high school going through my episodes like daily, a long time after, like I was good, everything was good. I was like, you can lack of better words, normal, right? And I bumped into somebody. From the past that I used to have these episodes. They'd be in the room. And when I came around them, all those old feelings, paranoia, like they had me, like still. So him saying that, like you can bring up an old picture or a picture of the tub, like when I get in the presence of, some people that I would go through those episodes and they'd be in the room, and that's crazy that it brings back those feelings and memories from back then, y'all. I guess just undealt with trauma.
The Ed and Lorraine Warren's Home and Occult Museum. We are the legal guardians and caretakers of all 750 haunted artifacts and items in the Warren Museum, including the Annabelle doll.
Wow.
For example, we have high resolution cameras and deep pool.
What happens to your body when you start to eat a bunch of processed food? This doctor actually took the plunge and did the experiment, eating an 80% processed food diet. Let's see what happened to his body, and you might want to watch this if you eat processed food.
So I want to find out if just doing nothing but changing the proportion of ultra-processed food in my diet has any effect on my health.
So this dude does literally my worst nightmare and just eats a bunch of processed food. Now, he's eating 80% processed food and 20% like healthy food. And the funny thing is he eats some of these fake healthy ultra processed foods that I always talk about. Look.
So this has all the appearances of a healthy meal.
Some foods that look pretty healthy can still count as ultra-processed foods because they're industrially produced and have multiple chemicals in the ingredients list.
Okay, so let's see what happened to this guy, because this is insane and it's way deeper than just like he gained weight.
What would you say? A standard man in early middle age?
Yeah, that is you. After.
I have the increasing man boob.
And also your stomach looks quite...
Yeah.
We see his gut starting to get distended. He is developing man boobs. He looks so bad, so puffy, absolutely horrible after eating this diet. And this is just 30 days, guys. Keep in mind, this is how most people in America, at least, eat. But what I want you to really pay attention to, and you can send this to a friend that eats a bunch of processed food, is the next thing.
If the weight gain continued at that rate for 6 months, I would gain 6 stone. Next are my hormone levels. I'm particularly interested in the ones that tell my body if I'm hungry or full. Have they changed?
And what we found is that the hunger hormone in your blood went up by 30% once you've been on the diet.
So that's why I felt hungrier.
Yes.
And what about the hormone that makes me feel full?
We saw a decrease in the fullness hormone. So you've got a double whammy. You've got an increase in the hunger hormone and a decrease in the hormone that's telling your brain that you've eaten.
This is why processed food sucks. If you are trying to lose weight, I'm telling you, you should minimize your consumption of processed food. It's not only, oh, calories in, calories out. Like, I'm trying to help Cookie King get healthy now, and he's like, but what's wrong? I've ate a bunch of McDonald's, but I'm hitting my calories. It makes it literally harder for your brain because you are hungry. You're eating that ultra-processed food, but it's messing with your hunger hormones, and you're like, weird, I feel hungry. Being in a calorie deficit is so hard. When the reality is, if you eat real food, meat, eggs, fish, fruits, vegetables, potatoes, stuff like that, it will make your body feel full for longer.
Finally, Professor Batterham wants to know if eating a high ultra-processed food diet has affected my brain. We've repeated the scan from a month ago to compare the results.
Blue is how areas of your brain talk to each other before the diet. And the red are the new functional connections in your brain after 4 weeks on the diet.
His brain is literally getting hardwired to crave these foods. Look, we know they're addicting. We all joke about it. Like, oh, this fast food's addicting. This is a good example of how, yes, that is actually manifesting in the brain. Now, this dude did 80% ultra-processed foods, but like the traditional like recommendation by doctors on this app is eat 20% of your diet ultra-processed foods. It's totally fine. It's totally healthy. If 80% cause these massive bad changes, don't you think 20% would cause some of those bad changes? Now, you don't have to be as strict as me. I don't eat any really ultra-processed fast food, junk food type stuff. However, if you're eating, 20% ultra-processed food and you're not hitting your goals, this could be some of the reasons why. And people will say, oh, it's too strict to limit junk food. I don't think so. Just 130, 140 years ago, none of these foods existed. You will be fine without them. Send this to somebody who eats junk food because they might not know how it's rewiring their brain, rewiring their hunger hormones, and making them just like not healthy in many different ways.
This was a drag show at an elementary school in Washington. This is not appropriate at an elementary school. So the woman who recorded this posted this on Facebook, and she posted all these videos and the pictures, and she said, on July 26, I went to a pride event in the Bonnie Lake area of Washington, or Bonnie. B-O-N-N-E-Y is how it's spelled. It was put on by Hope Development Practice and held at the Donald Eisman Elementary in the Summer Bonnie Lake School District. While it wasn't crowded, it was attended by mostly families with children. In addition to the school playground, there was a bouncy house and inflatable hamster balls, as well as an arts and crafts table to encourage kids' attendance. They had drag queen story hour and several drag performances. One drag queen seemed to cater his performances to the kids by using music from The Little Mermaid and the Hannah Montana movie. Others kept their adult routines in music, proudly showing off their hairy chest where cleavage would be and twerking just a few feet in front of the children. It is astounding to me how we think, oh yeah, let's put kids in front of this. This is what kids need to be seeing. This is something they need to see. I guess here's an example of this child reaching out to this drag queen, giving them something, I guess. I don't know. But the fact that they thought this was a good idea, again, is astounding to me. And we know one side of the political aisle will support this behavior, and we know one side will not. That's just the reality. There was even one of the drag queens dressed more provocatively than this, but many social media platforms won't let you post that, so I'll be careful about posting that. I won't post it here. So before I go, I just want to remind you guys I have a free email newsletter where I cover many of the topics that mainstream media won't. I also go much more into depth here than I do on a lot of these videos. Also, I can't be censored there. So the link to this is in my profile. Just go to my profile, click the link, drop your email, and hit subscribe, and you will be good to go. That's all I got for now. I hope to see you there.
They are trying to make us believe that the supernatural is not real. This is what Tucker Carlson is saying in this clip, that the priority of the government is to make us believe spiritual beings are not real. In fact, he says the US government actually works for them. This is on the topic of UFOs and aliens, and he has a similar view in which I do, is that the aliens are fallen angels. They are spiritual beings, and they're all around us, especially in the ocean. But take a look at this.
The main thing they want you to believe is the supernatural is not real. Their main interest is in convincing you that the supernatural is not real. Why has that been so important for 80 years for you to convince me the supernatural is not real? Why do you care if I think the supernatural is real? And then you have to ask motive. Like, it's not a profit motive. Like, does it make them rich to deny that there's supernatural forces? No. What is that? And I don't know the answer, but the obvious answer is, well, because they sort of know they're working for supernatural forces, actually. There are commonalities that are very striking between all world religions I'm aware of and all creation myths. And one of them, and this is of course true for Christianity, very true, is that the belief that supernatural beings take physical form. They all believe that. The Greek myths, Jesus, that they're physical. Like, they're as real as the arm of your chair. People are subject to the supernatural, so they do things that are not natural, like kill themselves. That's why we're the only species that kills itself.
American people won't understand this video, yeah? But anybody who's from outside of America or Ireland or whatever, yeah? It's actually so goated walking around here and actually experiencing this shit for the first time. Bro, the school buses they get picked up on, that shit is real, bro. They actually go to school on a school bus, bro. Look at this street, bro. It's the most Americanized street I've ever seen in my life. I'm just floating around it, bro. This shit is cool. Just walk around. Being in America is actually goated. Because every single movie, every single TV show, every influencer, YouTuber, they all are in America doing shit. And actually getting to come here from someone outside of the country and experience it. It's just funny out. Like, why is there a fire hydrant? Like, why is that there? I thought that shit was just for fucking background effect. I don't know. That shit is actually real. This place actually makes you realize how shit Ireland is. I can't lie. This place is just 20 times better. There's so much shit to do here. Bro, when you're with your friends in Ireland, you're like, I don't want to go out. There's nothing to do. You're just like, what we do. Bro, over here you can do anything. Go to any of the parks. Bro, you can get the best food possible. Bro, Top Golf, that shit is gold. There's just so much endless possibilities over here compared to being in Ireland. It actually makes you realize how depressing that place is. Anybody from America is going to watch this video and be like, what the fuck is this going on about? But anybody outside of America is going to understand, bro. It's like being in a dream or something. Bro, I watched all of this shit as a kid, and being here for the first time, it's just funny as fuck.
Things we take for granted, right? Simple things like a damn school bus in the front yard. People will trip out on out here.
And as soon as I said Jesus, I was out of
like that's why they say be careful what you wish for, you know? She tried offing herself. But I was watching a police camera the other day, and this dude was shooting at his family members, and the cop went onto the porch, and this guy was just like, get off of it, yelling, cursing. But if you want to go see your family tonight, get off this porch. Well, the cops ended up shooting that guy. And then what happens? What happens when he gets shot? It gets real. Be careful what you wish for. He's over there crying, begging for his life, saying sorry. You know, so just be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you do. Be careful what you think. Be careful what you say in these comments and other people's comments, because words are powerful, y'all. Words are powerful. And when it gets real, it gets real.
Biggie's cell. And in this cell,
we got some clips of her.
He was on fire. He had on a hospital gown, like we would wear here in the hospital. Like you would come to the hospital and be treated, and they would have you change your clothes and put you in a hospital gown. That type of hospital gown. And he was on fire, but the fire was coming from the inside of him, and he was just holding the bars. It was burning. And I'm standing there beside Jesus, and I asked Jesus, why is he here? And this is what Jesus said verbatim. It's on record in heaven. This man told me he didn't need me. This man believed he was a king. This man went to a fetish priest and got charms that he carried around in his pocket to become famous. He said, but mostly because he told me he didn't need me. And this man will be here throughout all of eternity.
That's a long time.
So after Jesus stopped speaking, one of the demons was speaking this language. it was ancient, but I had an idea what he said because of the actions of the other demon. The other demon opened the jail cell and got Biggie out of the jail cell, and a king's robe appeared out of nowhere, red and white king's robe. A golden crown appeared in his hair, and they bound him hand and foot. And they took him and they put him in this machine. It's what I can't think of anything else to call it except a juicer. They put him in this juicer, and he felt, even though there are no bones in hell, one of the torments in hell is you still have the feeling of pain. You have the feeling that you have bones and ligaments and tendons, even though you don't, but you still have that feeling. That's one of the torments. And he felt the breaking of bones, the ripping of tissue, the ripping, the cracking of his skull. He felt it all, and he came out like a big mush of like ground up hamburger with bone and tissue and blood in it. And then his body came right back into place, back the same way it was before they put him in the juicer. They took him back and put him in that jail cell, and they shut the door, and when they shut the door, he exploded. I mean, it was as if somebody put a bomb in his chest, and he exploded on fire, and he started to scream.
You know what's interesting? In his song, I just looked up one of these lyrics, 1994, from Ready to Die, I guess the album. He did say, he says, when I die, he said a curse word, and says, I want to go to hell. He said it. That's where he wanted to go.
That's where he is.
So there's been 24-hour protests going on for 2 weeks now in LA. I haven't seen any of this on my feed. I had to literally search it up myself to find out what's going on over there. While it's not only happening in LA, the stuff that I'm seeing coming out of LA is deadass insane. I don't think that people are fully grasping that people are literally being kidnapped by people wearing masks. They're not identifiable. You don't even know who these people are. They're wearing suits that they bought off Amazon, vests that they bought off Amazon. None of them have the same uniforms on. If there's 5 men, they all have 5 different vests. They're not saying their names. They have no arrest warrants. Like, this is literally kidnapping. You can't call it anything else except for kidnapping.
Listen to Seth Rogan, who is an actor and a comedian and happens to be Jewish.
I also think that as a Jewish person, like, I was fed a huge amount of lies about Israel my entire life. You know, they never tell you that. Oh, by the way, there were people there. They make it seem like it was just like sitting there. It was like the doors open.
Hours for the taking.
Like, it literally, they forget to include the fact to every young Jewish person, basically, like, oh, by the way, there were people there. I'm afraid of Jews. I'm 100% afraid of Jews. Oh, yeah. That's it. It would be nice to live somewhere that was not a part of the Christian apocalyptic prophecy. It is also probably a good idea. It's like, maybe settle somewhere that, you know, the Christians don't think you all have to die in order for the
and then they want us all to go there. They need a certain number of
They need
Jews.
us to go there so we can die, so the apocalypse.
But that, could you imagine living in Israel? Would you ever go live in Israel?
No, it would be
Interesting.
What you've discovered is actually huge, though, because it means that there's been data all along that we've overlooked. Statistically significant data suggesting something was in geosynchronous orbit at a time of huge significance to this planet, when there were both UFO incidents and nuclear tests that correlate with those sightings.
It seems that way. If it's all correct, then that's how it looks to me.
It does. I mean, it's interesting. It's fascinating. It raises all sorts of possibilities because, one, we don't know if those objects are still there or not, because I guess, have you tried? Have you tried to look for those particular locations to see if there are still objects glinting at those particular locations?
There's no chance we are going to find it with only one image.
I took a big paintbrush and just painted the walls down. It was beautiful. And then there was a bunch of people. Think of a square box and think of a bunch of chess pieces that you put side by side and they all stand up in this box. That's how the people were. They were all standing up side by side, just looking straight ahead like they were
dead but alive, and they all had on clothes that were made out of diamonds. They were cut out of diamonds. All their clothes cut out of diamonds, and the walls were painted with diamonds. And there was this 12-year-old, and I'm talking about bishops, pastors, teachers, lay people. I seen this woman from India, skeleton. Then I was taken out of this room, and then I was suspended in midair. I was in the middle. It was me and my wife went.
What do you guys think of that? What do you think? Like, part of me kind of believes, like, especially when she says verbatim, like, this is exactly, because I've been spoken to and I know verbatim exactly 2015. I remember it like it was yesterday. I know word for word what he told me. Never forget it. Just in case I do, I got it written down, right? But what do you guys think of her? I don't know. I think that's the last clip that we got that was kind of viral on TikTok, so I threw it on here. A part of me believes her, y'all. Part of me does. Because I've heard other testimonies. There's tons of YouTube videos of testimonies like that. People going to hell, people going to heaven. And they all kind of match. They're all kind of similar. Say similar things that they see.
The pre-approval process for a mortgage loan yesterday, and what the fuck are you talking about? It doesn't upset me for us because we aren't the average American family. I work a very niche job in the oil field. I make a very good income. My wife is a nurse. She does very good for herself, and combined, we have a very comfortable living in our home. But for the average American, this is way fucking far out of reach. In our area, we live in East Texas, okay? A good home is going to be at least $400,000, if not $450 to $500, okay? I try to explain this to my mom. She's telling me, oh, y'all just go get you a little $200,000 house. Mama, these $200,000 houses are fucking rundown shack. We're looking at the numbers, looking at our income, looking at our credit, and they have us at $450,000, 5% down, which is $22,000. Thank God we got a little bit of money saved. They have our mortgage after PMI, after insurance, after taxes at $4,636 a month. What the fuck are you talking about, okay? And the thing is, we could afford it. We actually could afford to spend that money on a mortgage every month. But a $5,000 mortgage? Who are y'all selling these fucking houses to? Because we are outliers, okay? Not everybody is fortunate to have the jobs that we have. What about the regular fucking families that bring in combined $100,000 a year? They will never qualify for this. What the fuck is like?
When the third,
like, you gotta move. You gotta move. I moved out of Arizona because what he's saying the prices of the houses were, and for a $200,000 house, you're 27th Avenue. You're on the blade for $200,000 if you're lucky. Even then, I had to move. Where I'm at now, you can get you a damn nice house, 3-bed, two car garage, 2-bathroom, 15 to 1,800 square foot house, $200,000. They're still out here. You just got to move out of your hometown, y'all. That's what sucks. But I put a post of this video that I'm going to be, reacting to it today. And I showed my Jeep, and man, a couple of the comments, like, makes me want to delete it. Like, that wasn't my intention, like, to make people think I'm a celebrity and like boasting and bragging about no, I posted that because I'm like, I put on some running boards. Like, I was happy. You know what I mean? So people's mindsets are just so messed up, y'all. And I wanted to respond, but I didn't. But like, this thing I do, you don't need an education for this. You don't need money to get started in this. You can start it now and change your whole life. Instead of leaving a comment like that, like, you can do this. It doesn't got to be what I'm reacting to and stuff like that. You can do whatever you want, whatever you like doing. Guarantee there's somebody on YouTube doing it and making a living off it. But I never understand the people that comment things like that. Like, when I saw people, like my favorite YouTubers, like giving their dad a truck or buying their mom a house, or, just buying groceries for the lady in front of them, a single mom or something, like, I wouldn't look at that and be like, man, you're showing off, like you're rich. And like, I would feel the feeling that they felt. I would get teary eyed. Like, one day I'm going to do that. One day. And sure enough, like, I didn't buy my dad a brand new truck, but I gave him my truck. I could have sold that truck and got 10,000 easy for it, but I gave it to him, made his day. That was my dream. One day I would like to buy him a brand, but just like seeing things people do that are good, they bring me happiness and joy. But I guess some people just ain't like that. They're not built like that. you know, and it's sad, but that's just how it is. But that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to do, is to change people's mindsets and make them realize, like, the glass doesn't always have to be half empty. It should never be half empty. You should always see a silver lining in everything, because when you do that, great things start happening. I don't got my hat. Someone made a comment, when Segovia grabs his hat like that, he's about to get philosophical or whatever he said. That made me laugh, y'all.
Of the
Whoever
angels
said
of
that.
God fell in Revelation 12 and 4, and including Genesis 6, Enoch 6, Jude 6, 6, 6, 6. They were called Gregories, the fallen angels. Before they were called Nephilims, they were called the Gregories. And this is where we get the Gregorian calendar.
Yeah, but Nephilims were offsprings of fallen angels and women.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. But they came as Gregories, which became Nephilims because of the offspring through the daughters of men. And matter of fact, in Genesis 6, it talks about that term, daughters of men. They were looking for a particular DNA. They were looking for a DNA because these fallen angels wanted to redesign creation to be a species. So God never designed you and I to be a species. God never designed you and I to be human. Now, that term human, according to the Ballantyne's Black's Law Dictionary, that's right, it means sea monster.
Sea monster.
And so the term human means sea monster. God did not design you and I to be sea monsters or a multi-head type of creature, the Kraken. God did not design us to be a fetus, because the term fetus means an animalistic cargo. It's these words that have been attached to creation that has brought curses. So the Gregories were the ones who gave the 13-month calendar to mankind through the daughters of men out of the 3 volumes of Enoch.
So Hollywood has successfully sucked the life out of Jenna Ortega. Everyone knows that Jenna Ortega used to be full of life. You saw the light in her. She had a lot of talent growing up. I mean, just look at the difference, even in the eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul, and you can tell that her soul seems like it's completely gone. This just reminds me of, what does it profit a man to gain the whole entire world but loses his soul? And she just looks like she, yes, has gained the world, and she might be popular and famous, and she might land all these roles, but she has given her soul in return. Also, it doesn't help that she's playing all these dark characters in these dark movies. She's always playing a dark role, and those things catch up with you. You play with the demonic realm. When you play with the satanic realm, this is what happened. You guys might say, oh, it's plastic surgery, it's this, is that. I'm talking about what is gone from her eyes. The sparkle is gone from her eye. If you can't see it, you don't have no discernment. It's gone. Whatever piece of God she might have had back in the day is completely gone. Now, the good news is there is a way back. However, once these celebrities get so far into that Hollywood life, the Hollywood occult, typically none of them ever come back. And I hope that this is not the case with Jenna Ortega.
Did you hear about this? A perfect storm just crushed Kentucky's $9 billion whiskey industry. Here's what's going on. In the last 8 months, 3 major distilleries filed for bankruptcy. 23,000 jobs gone. Why? Well, first, Gen Z. They're not drinking as much as they used to. They prefer weed over whiskey. Second, the European nation slapped massive tariffs on U.S. whiskey. At the same time, producers flooded the market betting that a boom would last forever, but it didn't. It tanked. In Canada, that was the final nail in the coffin. They hit U.S. whiskey with a 25% tariff, then pulled it off their shelves completely in retaliation against Trump's trade war. Now we have a 200-year-old American tradition that is circling the drain. What do you think? Can U.S. whiskey be saved? And if so, how? Drop your thoughts and hit the follow button to stay in the loop.
I don't know if it's still this way, but I learned this from Steve-O, who went to clown school. It's like one of the hardest, if not the hardest school to get into in the country.
What percentage of applicants do you think get accepted into clown school?
Did you look at
I did.
It's got to be.
Tell me the percentage.
I don't know the percentage, but from Steve-O.
Guess one.
And maybe, all right.
From
I'm
Steve-O.
saying, I'm going to hold on. I'm saying, are we saying today? Because today might be a different standard. People aren't, begging to get into clown school like they were in the early 90s.
Here we go. All this, yeah.
I would say 10%.
I'll even be nice. I'll say 4. 2% of applicants get accepted into clown school.
And now look up what Ivy League school percentage applicants get in.
In the writing here, it says it is less than Harvard.
I fucking told you. Steve-O, you fucking did well for me again. You didn't let me down, buddy. Hell yeah.
Let's talk about Earth real quick. I downloaded. Well, I used to play Black Ops 4 back in the day. Yes, Black Ops 4. We're going a little bit back in time. I remember specifically there being a weapon charm of the Earth. I re-downloaded Black Ops 4. It took 2 hours just to show you all this for my Earth people. This isn't a video game though. I'm getting ready to show you. This is in Black Ops 4. I'm gonna show you this weapon charm. Tell me what y'all think. Here it is. It's in the weapon charm category. Here it is. What are we getting shown right here? The worst part about this weapon charm is it's called science. So what we can see right here, I know my TV is making it a little bit. Go back a little bit. TV's messing it up. The sun and the moon, the same exact size. It looks like an invisible firmament. What do you notice about that? What do you notice about the land, the continents? They're all still together. We're shown a sun and the moon, the exact same size, local under the firmament, a flat piece of Earth with all the continents still connected. This isn't a video game. This isn't Black Ops 4. The name of this charm is called Science. So I'll ask you, do you think
Mocking science.
Toying with those? You think they're just throwing this in our face? Or you think somebody at Treyarch just decided to make fun of flat earthers?
It's the truth.
This is why we say they just throw this stuff out in media. It's clear as day right here.
Guess what? Away. This brain chip that allows you to, they have tested it and it works. Yeah. You can text with it, use email, shop online, scroll on social media, all hands free, just through thought alone.
Well, that's dangerous.
And guess how it's put into you? An injection through your jugular.
Ew.
It's
the chip?
Yep. It's not an invasive. They're not cutting your head open. It's an injection.
When are they going to be dropping
this?
this?
Is there an actual physical chip, or is it like?
Yeah, it's like microchips that go into your bloodstream that live in the cortex or something of your brain or at the base, and
That
you're
sounds
able
painful.
to literally control electric devices just by thought.
Oh, so it's like you have to have a phone that it displays on. It's not like you close your eyes and you can see it on your eyelids or something.
No, but that made me think of Sam Altman and the guy from Apple, how they said we're developing a new phone that is device free.
Yeah.
Oh no,
dude! How did they drop that?
It's inevitable.
You know how fun all of their drops are, like the nanopod and everything like that. All those commercials. How are they going to make that look cool? An injection into your jugular?
Dude, okay.
Who would do that?
An injection.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, do you want to come in and get this brain chip? We have to split your head open.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, they can sneak this in through anything now.
Yeah, dude.
A
Vaccine,
needle.
a vaccine
A
for
vaccine.
a global pandemic.
Funded by Bill Gates and Amazon.
Dude, that's insane. That's such bad news.
And I've never heard of this company in my life.
Never.
But apparently they've tested it way longer than Neuralink. It's very effective. They said it's not as not as invasive as Neuralink, but it's not as advanced as Neuralink.
Yeah, because it's serving a different function.
Yeah, but it's
like you're not trying to get a paralyzed person to walk. You're trying to make life more livable.
Yep.
Man.
Or just speed things
More
up.
comfortable.
You know what my biggest fear with all of this is? Somebody psychoanalyze me. The first thing that comes into my mind with this is the idea that my adult children are going to be like, oh yeah, we're totally getting it.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I'll have to
Yeah.
tie them up in our basement.
And we're going to sound crazy because
they just show them this podcast.
honestly, I'm going to force our girls just because like you're going to see like just how quickly it's like we weren't even worried about this at this time. And now look how quickly it moved on and how it wasn't normal at the time.
Ada's going to be like, Mom, you're so out of touch. And this is like, everybody's getting it. And I'm going to say, you do it and you're going to live in my basement. I'm going to tie you up.
More weird stuff about the Kardashians, part 2. Since 2013, when these two met, Kim Kardashian and Michelle Lamy have been extremely close, done interviews, photo shoots, etc. together. They also did a really eerie photo shoot in this magazine I'll show you here. Plenty of creepy shots, but also they're wearing each other's clothes, therefore channeling each other. Do the math. The weirdest thing by far I found about Kim on the entire internet is the Santa baby video. For those who don't remember, this came out a few years ago. It's extremely eerie and disturbing. Roll the clip. Here's one more eerie clip from that video, and then we'll talk details. A lot of weird things in that video to unpack, but you have Jesus looting a fridge, Mary next to a donkey, and a nun muttering on the floor saying he is not a man of God. Obviously, something has been done to her theoretically in the video to make her say that. The entire vibe of the video feels like it should be on the dark web or something. It feels like a prelude to something awful. To me, though, the weirdest part of the video is the end where Kim crawls up to Santa with the one-eye symbolism. And then lo and behold, Santa is none other than Macaulay Culkin, who we also know is a product of Hollywood, and also you see him here doing the one-eye symbolism. It's no accident. Here's a picture of Kim with that other weird lady from Hollywood as well. And that's not really even going into the relationship between these two families, which I could deep dive on another time. Something's off about this family.
This is where everything changed. And I asked a question that no hypnotherapist asks. Now, just go to the time and place that you most need to go to for your healing. I left it up to the subconscious mind to then decide. And then he starts explaining, I'm 27 years old and my client's 21. So I'm like, okay, well, he's projecting himself 6 years into the future. He's explaining a body type that wasn't quite his body type as well. And he said his name was Jeremy. I'm like, that's like name. I'm like, he's really constructing a false identity here to really live out something, you know? So I'm going to go with it, right? This is new. So he's going through this life. Like, okay. He gets all the way to his deathbed and he's in hospital, right? I said, okay, how old are you? He says, I'm 72 years old. And I'm like, okay, well, what's happening? He says, I'm dying of heart failure. I said, okay, you're aware that you're dying? He says, yes. I said, is anyone with you? He says, yeah, my wife, Susan, she's on my left. I said, okay. She's holding my hand. Okay. Do you have any children? He says, yes. Axel and Chris, I love them dearly. No doubt in his voice, no hesitation. I'm like, okay, cool. He said, but they're not here. I said, okay. All right. Is there a date? And then he just waits about 5 seconds and he says, yeah, September 11, 1981. And I'm like, 81? Backwards? Yeah. What happens next? And he goes, I've just died. I'm above my body and my wife Susan's still holding my hand. She's crying. I said, okay, well, what do you notice? A ball of light. I said, a ball of light? And he's like, yeah, something like that. And he says, and there's this big grand light above me and it's drawing me in. And I'm like, okay, how does it feel? He says, it feels euphoric. I said, okay, if it feels right, continue on, see what happens next. And he passes into this light. Here's where it gets weird. His linguistic style shifts. So the way he constructs his language and his words changes. He's now speaking proverbially, meaning like very proper. I said, okay, so if you've just died, you're also born here in 1996. What happens in those 15 years? Yeah. And he says, nothing. We waited for this body. I said, we? This body says, yes, he will unite people. He was struggling with the fear of isolation in this life here, which he needs to overcome here. But he will unite people in this body. I said, if
Oh,
we,
I'm getting
he, oh, so who are you? And you know what he says? Kleinhaid. I said, can you spell that? He says KLEINEHAIDE. I still remember writing it down when he said it. And I said, where's that from? And he goes, it's ancient. You wouldn't understand.
Wow. Speaking of the government, now apparently you can Venmo the government to help pay down the national debt. In what planet am I going to help you get out of debt? Trillions of dollars. You think I'm sending you even a buck?
I
You're
mean,
crazy.
in theory, Joey, we are part of the debt too. So it is kind of our debt. You
so
know,
I should debt more on top of my debt?
Yeah, now you need to pay your billions into the national debt to just help it.
Fuck out of here.
There is no reality. No reality. One, where we're getting out of national debt. It's like in the trillions now. It's like bad. There's nothing that you could do to get that to, like, even put a dent in that. Even put a dent. Even Elon Musk, with his newly reported net worth of $405 billion.
He can't. I mean, he can make a dent.
He can make a dent, but not a sizable dent.
No.
If it's in the trillions, what's the size of the national debt right now?
Yeah, let's look up the national debt.
We're in debt a measly $36.7 trillion.
Lower than I thought, but a lot.
Lower than you thought,
I thought
brother?
it was like 300 trillion. Not that that's like.
That is what he said.
Let's get. No, you said 36.
Oh, I thought you said 356.
Let's get this out of the way. Trillion is a fucking Looney Tune number.
It's a million billions, right?
All right, family. I got to cut it short. I got an appointment coming up in 30 minutes. I want to get this video edited. I want to upload it because I'm going to be gone for a while. I got to go to the store and whatnot. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content today. If you made it this far, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. No alcohol, no non-alcohol beer today. It's a little early still, right? It's 12:30. I was expecting to come in here and do this like at 2 after my appointment, but I had some time. Thought I'd come in here and get it done, y'all. Hope everyone out there has a good day. I'm going to see you guys on Monday. Promise you, we'll have an hour banger on Monday or on Friday. Monday. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.